Hi there, I'm Chris Kilby, a pastor in a pergola, and here is today's bite-sized Bible from 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. We're beginning a new chapter of this letter from Paul to his son in the faith, Timothy, today. And today I want to talk to you about truth versus error. Let's read the first verse of chapter 4 of 1 Timothy. Paul says this: "The Spirit clearly says that in later times some will abandon the faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons." You know, I used to like growing mushrooms, and to grow mushrooms you have to have the mushroom spores in a hidden place, in a dark, and I used to do it in a big black bin bag, and it had to be dank and dark and moist, and that was the perfect environment for mushrooms to cultivate. And you know, Paul was writing to Timothy in Ephesus, and Ephesus was a perfect environment for the propagation of false teaching. There was a real mixture going on in Ephesus. So geographically, it kind of had Eastern influences and Western influences. Religiously, it had a mixture of, therefore, Eastern superstition and some Roman materialism. So it was a real hotbed for the development of false teaching. But it was into that hotbed that Timothy had to bring truth rather than error. And Paul says to him, it says in the later times that some will abandon the faith. And now some people think that that must mean the end times, when Jesus returns and wraps up history. That's not what Paul's talking about. He's talking about the church age, our age. So these things are relevant for us, and the challenges are still true for us today. We still have to refute false teaching and bring truth in a world of error, because otherwise people will experience what Paul was concerned that people in Ephesus would experience, which was an abandoning of the faith and following these deceiving spirits. You know, some of them were believing it and were therefore abandoning the faith, walking away from Jesus. Or the NASB version says they were falling away. Or I quite like the JB Phillips version, which says that they were being spiritually seduced. So there was something about this false teaching that was seducing them away from the truth, and they were tempted away because they were paying attention to, or they were following, these deceiving spirits. Well, we get an indication here that there's more than one spirit in the world. There is the Holy Spirit, and then there are these deceiving spirits. Now, guess where these come from? They're demonic. They come from the master deceiver, Satan himself. And so my question to you is, what are you following? Which spirits are you following? Are you following the deceiving spirits that lead people and seduce them away from a place of faith? Are you listening to things that draw you away from Jesus, away from the church, away from faith? Or are you listening to the Holy Spirit? Are you listening to the Holy Spirit? Don't be spiritually seduced is my encouragement to you. Don't be like mushrooms growing in the darkness. Get yourself into the light. Don't be seduced away by deception. Believe the truth, not the error. That was today's bite-sized Bible from 1 Timothy 4, verse 1. I'm Chris Kilby, a pastor in a pergola, and I shall see you next time.